Hey there, Chuck Wagon RV. I'm in a little town, lost again, in Utah. I have left Pine Valley. Didn't get along with the management. Maybe my problem, maybe theirs, in material. I'm not there anymore, and I'm going to go back to just traveling, see what I can find. And right now I'm at a fort. I'm going to show you the fort. This is the room I'm sitting in has, of course, been modernized a little bit, but it is the actual cabin that Hinkle lived in the 1800s. I thought it'd be nice to show you guys this. The other room here is decorated as if it was when Hinkle lived here. Let me turn it around. Quite impressive. Of course, it's a one-room cabin. This was added on to it, and this is the original cabin. Not very big. And this is where people came in the early to late 1800s to rest from their travels. So I'm going to keep pausing this thing, and I'm going to walk across the street to the actual fort where they protected the people and the travelers from the Indians. And they can pause it and read this.
That's pretty cool. It should come up. It should. Get a little closer and see if it does not come up and show you that that's something.
Well, I don't know if it will or not, to tell you the truth.
I don't know why that's not doing it. Mine
I know mine
actually does.
Kitchen and dining room. Imagine people busting about, cooking meals and serving guests, included stagecoach travelers. This is what this place was for. This is supposedly, the original. I'm going to go through the whole thing again and film it for you guys. Of course, Chuck Wagon RV seems to find the goofiest things located in the strangest places. I'm just good at it, I guess. Look at all this original cast iron pots. Double oven. Glenwood is the manufacturer. Don't know if it's original. It's very interesting though. There's an iron sitting on there. Grandfather clock. Grinders. But we'll continue down the walkway. Each room is open. Each room is connected. This is the weaving room. Some of you know these, especially if you're viewing it from the senior center. You can imagine how old this one is. Looks like they're making soap. Of course, a fireplace in every room. I guess this is where they did the laundry, made clothing. Let me get back to the corner so you all can see this. Look at all the irons up there. Once again, this is from the 18th century. Telegraph post office, a place for travelers to. Boy, that sun is bright outside here. It turns the screen white. I'm sorry. I don't know how to darken that up, but each room's a little bit different. Each room has a purpose. Living quarters for the kitchen annex. And it looks like we have a staircase going upstairs. At one time, probably to get up on the roof so that they could fight with the Indians. But this building never, well, there's a storage room down there, never seen battle. They actually got along with the Indians. They bought the furs from the Indians. Look at the dominoes, how old them things are. You can only imagine. 2 beds. I like the old rope they used for the springs. The glass is awesome. I wonder why we are not doing good on the lighting for this. The sun is so bright here. But I'll keep going down the trail and show you everything. Wow. I don't know how to darken that picture up, but it's just pure white. But this is the courtyard in this area. If I turn it, should show you, but I don't think the camera can adjust from the light to the dark. But this is the living quarters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chimneys, 6 doors. So every room has its separate heating. Of course, they modernized it. You can see the electric up there in the corner. But this is the actual fort. These are stations where they put their weapons to fire at the Indians. This is a working fort. It's now owned by Latter-day Saints, or another word for it is the Mormon. Look at the thickness of the doors. The doors were filled with sand to stop bullets. Look how big the doors were. This is the outside of the fort. Let's zoom out a little bit more. This is the back side. Not a very big fort, but of course it's a working fort. It is a farm that the Mormons, or Latter-day Saints, have kept up with. They have housing here. It's a mission room. This is all mission, all volunteers, and they grow all their own vegetables. The Mormons are quite unique in this area. But I'm going to take a film and I'm going to zoom in and show you where they got the rock from. That is a volcano. And they got all the rock for this building, for this fort, out of there. You hear the cows? It's a working farm. They have cows here. They have vegetables growing. I would imagine this is a blacksmith shop. I just guessed it was, and yeah, it is. Look at the tools. Back in the day, they raise their own crops, raise their cattle. Look at all the horseshoes laying on the ground. Probably the way they were. The place was closed down, not used anymore. And as far as I can figure out, the Mormons purchased it and then make it a museum, a working museum mission. So people live here. And in here, this is your ice house. I wonder why it makes it so cold. Huh. I guess it's how the building was built. Wow. That's pretty cool in there. I like seeing the gardening that they do. This is actually a working Mormon or Latter-day Saints, as he likes to put it, mission area. And we're about, I don't know, a mile off of Interstate 70, headed towards Colorado. I don't think I'll make Colorado. I think I'm going to stop at the Arches. But if it continues to be windy like this, I really don't like wind. Look at the fencing. This is like cattle hide. They used to put it together, and at one time was metal. But they tied it together with cowhide. Wow. Feels like that to me. Please stay out. Stay off this vehicle. Evidently people were climbing on there. This is locked up. I'm just walking around showing you. Let me go back to the road here. There's a gate here. The boards slide across the opening to close this off. Boy, the cattle over there getting loaded up. And they're not happy, you can hear them. 3-story barn. I guess this is where they stored the animals, the carriages, probably the hay that they produced. 3 stories. And there's the cattle farm across the road. They're celebrating Memorial Day. I think it's Monday. Today is Saturday. And I'm going to continue walking around. Evidently they're trying to save this plant, this tree, from people, probably. People walk around through here. Modernized fire hydrant. Great fences though, aren't they? This looks like a real chuck wagon. I'm a wannabe chuck wagon. Not very good at the cooking stuff like chuck wagons should be. But needless to say, every once in a while I cook. Last night we were at Cracker Barrel in St. George. We hit the truck stop for a nice, healthy, warm shower. One of the original buildings, I would imagine, we're walking up on. Yeah, this was the bunkhouse. This building is located outside of the fort. So evidently, the bunkhouse is where they housed the people that worked here. See the gun slots so that they could fight a battle if it ever happened, but it never happened. They got along with the Indians just fine. I'll tell you what, it's cold here. I think I'm up in elevation quite a bit. But it's amazing. Look at the old buildings. There's a brand new one. But these old buildings are still here. They're made out of rocks that came out of the volcano. I guess that's where they load hay onto the stagecoaches. There's actual stagecoach came in here and then went back north, and then somebody else picked up the mail and went south. Amazing. It's amazing what this character chuck wagon can find. Look at all the gun slots. They were really predicting probably a lot of fighting with the Indians. But of course the Indians needed them because they would buy their items. Good. I'll try to show you in here, but I don't think it's going to happen. But that's a 2-room. Of course, the door is closed and locked. We can't go in that one. Well, let's go into this room. You're allowed to go in all the rooms here. Living quarters, guest room 2. And this is your living quarters. Of course, every room had a fireplace and every room had a door, so they never had to go outside. Because this area of Utah is very cold, which it is today, and very windy.
Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Okay, great. And then the last two
Go in the next room. The best room. Wonder what that meant. Herman Young regularly stayed in this room. He was one of the original builders of this place. I know these people. Do not want to be on film, I would imagine, so I try to avoid people. I try to get away on my own so that I can show you this. Angeline's room. And once again, look how thick the walls are. This entire building is built out of that lava rock. And then plaster over it. The glass in the windows are very nice. I'm not sure if it's original, but looks like it's blown glass maybe. The children's room. Look at the children's room. And 11 living children. 6 children were born in the fort. Two were born after the family moved to Fillmore in 1877. 11 children. This is their room. And this is the last room. Abelinda Noble married Hinkle and widowed a 4-year-old daughter, December 11th, 1853. This is their room. There is a telegraph room and a post office. I want to go up these stairs. This was designed so they could get up here, of course, raise the flag. They haven't put the flag at half mast. I've noticed everybody else is because of the killings in Texas. The gun didn't do it. The person did it. Those look like gun turrets where they lay on the roof, they could look out. And of course, you kneel here and you can shoot out. The thickness of the walls. This is the mission housing area. That's the Church of Latter-day Saints. They did not welcome me to church. I thought they would. Wouldn't be a bad thing. I like visiting churches. This is the courtyard. They run the wagon trains right through the middle here. They'd unload them, get fresh horses, and go again. Look at the construction of this thing. And this is all original, majority of it. They didn't have gutters back then, and they're all copper gutters. They've done it right. The roof is not original. There was a fire on this side of the building. You can see the stone are a different color. The gentleman told me they had a fire here. I don't know when, but he said they had a fire here. I'm going to walk into the post office and show you that. What an probably in the 50s, 60s, post office looks like. I'm going to do these last two rooms, and then I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to go down the road. This is the post office. Stagecoach post office. So the stagecoach would come in, drop off the mail. The strong box, probably full of money at that time. This was the post office. This is the telegraph room. The gentleman who took me for the tour told me that they make their own electricity down there with sulfuric acid and whatever else they needed. And the telegraph could only travel 30 miles on these wires. So every 30 miles, they had to have a person repeat whatever was being sent to the next 30 miles until it made its final destination. Very nice, guys. I hope you enjoyed this tour. Look it up online. I imagine they have a nice website. I just happened to see this on the side of the road while traveling down the road, so I thought I'd come in and show you. All right, take care, Lee, and we'll talk soon.